What's going on, everybody? Welcome to AMA. I'm Centopani, and I'm your host. Today, I thought we'd do something a little bit different. I brought you into the kitchen with me because I have something I'm very, very excited about. It goes all the way back to my childhood. No, this has nothing to do with Deca, D-ball, or any of that stuff. Something totally different. Let me set the stage. It was Christmas time. I was probably 6 years old. So this was probably 1988. It's Christmas. My grandmother, notorious for buying obscure gifts that she would find at some discount store. I mean, like one year I got like a Michael Jackson Thriller calendar. One year I got a bird feeder with lots and lots of bird seed. One year I got these things that you stick on the front of your car that make a whistling noise so that deer know you're coming, so that you don't hit the deer. I was maybe 7 years old, didn't have a car, but I got those from my grandma. Thanks, Grandma. But perhaps of all the gifts that she gave me, the most awesome gift she ever did was a toasty maker. What's a toasty maker? You guys are probably not familiar because they're not big here in the US. For whatever reason, they're big in England and they're big in Australia. They are a toasted sandwich. Do not confuse it with a panini. Totally different animal. Toasty, if you were gonna make a grilled cheese in the pan, you're gonna toast it on one side, you're gonna flip it. The goal is to get that cheese inside all melty and gooey, right? A toasty maker allows you to do that with perfection, but what it also does is it crimps, it seals the edges of the sandwich. As oftentimes also, it will seal the sandwich in like a diagonal down the middle. They make electric versions of these. They make ones that you can use over an open flame. The one that my grandmother gave me, right, it opened up in half, you put the sandwich in, you closed it, you locked it, and then you put it directly on the stove. Going back, I would take a couple pieces of bread, I'd put some cheese in there, probably a piece of ham, close that fucker up, put it on the stove. After just a few minutes, you would have yourself perfectly toasted sandwich, guts of it just all melty and oozing and just awesome. Don't ask me what made me think of it, but recently I'm like, you know what? I really want one of those. I found some that were kind of like it, but none that quite fit the bill. Lo and behold, I found one. Coleman, right, who makes tents and camping gear, they make it. I had to order from fucking Japan. Coleman US does not make it. So this thing opens up in half, it unhinges, so if you see the inside, you can see it basically will split the sandwich, right? It'll crimp it down the middle and also around the edges. Put the sandwich in there, and then you can lock it. You put it directly on the stove. Is this gonna make your bench press go up 100 pounds? I wanted to share this with you guys because it's such a treat. I thought you guys would find it interesting. So you know what? I'm gonna make a breakfast toasty, bacon, egg, and cheese, and I'm gonna show you how it's done. Pull up a chair, sit back, enjoy, and let's do this. First thing I'm gonna do actually is make an egg. I'm gonna show you my ingredients here. Really thick cut bacon, some regular old white bread, pasture-raised eggs. I can't have cheese because my stomach just won't take it. This is some like cheese alternative shit. I don't know how it's gonna be. I hope it's good. I hope it doesn't suck. And I've got some fresh dill because I'm a fancy motherfucker and I want some dill in my sandwich. So first thing I'm gonna do, make an egg. I've got the pan heating up over here. I'm a one-man show. I'm doing the best I can. Pan's been heating up. Key to a toasty is do not overfill it. I'm just gonna put one egg. You probably could get away with doing two. The bacon I already cooked. Let's open up the cheese. I'm gonna show you a little trick. When you're making an egg to go in a sandwich, you're better off giving the yolk a little pop because otherwise it's gonna make a mess in the sandwich. Let's open up this cheese. See how it looks. No, I'm not vegan or any of that shit, obviously. I'm eating an egg. And honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with dairy. You know, I think it can be very, very nutritious. I just happen to not feel good when I have it. So that's the only reason I'm opting for this stuff. And what I've got here is rendered bacon fat. When you cook bacon and all the drippings come out, I collect it, put it in a jar, it solidifies, and again, because I don't consume dairy, I use it in place of butter. It's delicious. Oddly, you would never expect that it has a fraction of the cholesterol, okay, almost a third of the cholesterol of butter, and less saturated fat. Who would have thought that? More monounsaturated fats also. Because this is gonna go inside the toasty maker, I'm going to spread a little bit on each side of the bread. Oh, how nice that spreads too. It actually has a very high smoke point, so it's very heat stable. Because I rendered this myself, I know it's fresh, it's not rancid. I mean, for all these years, you would be led to believe, oh my God, it's bacon fat. That's gotta be horrible for you. You're gonna have it one time, it's gonna clog your arteries and you're going to fucking die. Come to find out, better for you than butter. And we know that as of late, people have really taken a liking to butter. If butter's healthy for you, I think pretty much anything that comes from the earth or from animals, not anything from the earth, I mean lead comes from the earth, arsenic comes from the earth, so I'm not gonna sit there and say that anything natural isn't dangerous, but I think in terms of the foods that we consume, it's all good, right? Different plants, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, animals. If you are what you eat, and you are what you eat eats, if an animal, be it a pig or a cow, is eating a good diet, and then you eat the animal, how could it really be bad for you? I don't know, that's my thinking. This egg is good to go. I'm gonna keep the burner on about medium. And you know what, I better use 2 pieces of cheese, huh? I hope this comes out good. I haven't even used this yet. We're gonna do this together. Put the egg in there. So just so you see what I'm doing, I've got the bread and I did a slice of cheese, the egg. I guess now would be a good time to put the bacon in there, put the cheese on it. Oh, you know what? Let's add some dill and then we're gonna place the bread on, put it in the toasty maker. I'm just gonna, yo, this is so fucking fancy. You gotta see this fanciness. Oh, come on, that looks so good. Put that cheese on there, bread. Let's put it in the toasty maker, huh? As you can see, all right, it's in there and I'm just gonna clamp it down. Oh, it's fucking stuffed in there real good. I know this is gonna be good. I'm gonna put it right on the burner, just like that. I haven't done this before. I'm guessing probably 5 minutes aside is gonna do the trick. So in the meantime, while that's doing its thing, let's talk about gluten. Only because somebody asked me about it recently, because I talked about it a little bit now. Sometimes I avoid gluten. I mainly will stick to rice and potatoes, sometimes oats, as my main carb sources. I'm not gluten intolerant. I don't have celiac disease. But one thing I have noticed, if I eat a ton of wheat products, I'll tend to feel a little bit more bloaty. So I think rice and potato tend to digest just better. I can handle larger volumes of it. But as you can see, making a toasty, I'm using regular old white bread, which I'm sure has plenty of gluten in it. And that doesn't scare me. I think that there's all these, words that get thrown around, whether it's lactose, gluten, people become afraid to eat stuff. And I think if you don't have a problem digesting a certain food, don't cut it out. Because once you cut it out of your diet, a lot of times it's hard to go back. As I said earlier, I think that a lot of foods, if they're natural and they're unprocessed, now I'm eating plenty of processed stuff right here. If it's natural, it's unprocessed, it's simple, it's probably all right for you. I just checked it and the one side looked perfectly toasted, so I flipped it. Come here, let's take a look. Just come on in, look at that. I'm gonna let it do its thing. All right. I think it's ready. Let's open it up, take a look, and if it's good, see how this thing came out. Hopefully the guts are nice and toasty. Let's take it out of here. Ooh, it's hot. The bacon, the fresh dill, the cheese, the bacon fat that we put on the bread. Let's take a bite, see how it is. Oh, like molten lava. Absolutely delicious. And I gotta say, this cheese, pretty freaking good. I mean, if I was using like real Land O'Lakes American cheese, some Swiss cheese, Munster cheese, whatever, oh, I mean, it would be ridiculous. But you can see all melty in there and steaming hot. So good. I'm sorry that you guys can't taste this because it is absolutely delicious. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I know this was something a little bit different. Let me know what you guys think. Did you like this? Was this stupid? You want to see more stuff like this? Let me know. Comment below. Of course, subscribe. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.